Had the breaking news from San Francisco. Jamar Chase sat out practice again yesterday. His availability for week 1 is very much up in the air. Unlike a lot of the other players who had holdouts or hold-ins this offseason, he still has 2 years left on his rookie deal, but he wants the new contract. Head coach Zach Taylor asked about it yesterday. Here's what he said.
Do you expect Jamar Chase to play on Sunday?
We'll just take it day to day.
Do you have to put together a game plan that includes him and not having him?
Yeah, we're always ready. You know, there's always injuries and things you got to deal with, so we're adept at that.
If Jamar does play, could he do a full snap count, full load?
I mean, it's impossible for me to say with 100% conviction, but I feel good about the shape that he's in.
Okay, so I mean, there's a coach who does not want to answer these questions, and I fully understand why. Hawk, let me ask you the same question that I asked you a moment ago about CD Lamb. Here's Jamar Chase, who's been in camp but not been practicing. If he plays on Sunday, what should we be expecting from him as far as relative to his best?
I mean, we should also have whatever we had for CD Lamb, which I think was 85%, go even lower than that, because CD Lamb would have had more practices with his team than Jamar Chase had. Now, the good part about that is offensively, how the Bengals run it is more shared amongst the wide receivers. They have T. Higgins and other options, whereas the Cowboys, everything runs through CD. But for Jamar Chase, like, they want him in the lineup. I do think this is a big deal, and it is time for the Bengals and Cincinnati to panic if they cannot get a deal done to get Jamar in there, because Joe Burrow is not his best without Jamar Chase, and that much is a fact.
Yeah, they could probably survive without him a little bit, but the idea in the long run of them not having him changes everything. So, Dan,
I think they got the Chiefs in week 2.
Well, what do we know about this situation?
Look, he obviously wants something that they haven't yet offered, and he's been willing to stick it out this far. He went back to practice last week for like a day, and everybody seemed like it was all fixed, and then he said not so fast and sat out the next day. So, yeah, I think there are problems here, right? 2 years left on the deal. The Bengals really don't like to do that. They made an exception for Joe Burrow. If he's looking for guaranteed money beyond the first year, the Bengals don't do that. They made an exception for Joe Burrow. If he's trying to make more than Justin Jefferson, then the Bengals can go back and say, well, Justin Jefferson waited till after year 4, like in year after year 3. So there are hurdles that may not be able to be cleared in terms of getting this deal done. And then what we'll find out is he willing to skip regular season games or an entire regular season in order to get what he wants? Yeah, that's what's on the table here at this point.
I mean, otherwise, everything, like literally everything, is on the table for a team, that wants to win a Super Bowl aspirations.
Yeah, and that's where I would say the pressure is going to fall back to the management, because when you say you made 2 exceptions, right, already for a player, he
quarterback,
right, but he considers himself that type of player, right? And so when you're sitting in that room and you're the Bengals, you now have a 4th place schedule you're going to play. You feel like you have an opportunity to make a push for the Super Bowl, or potentially win the Super Bowl. Now you ain't doing it without Chase. I'm just letting you know. So if you're the team, at some point you have to sit back and go, if he does hold out now, can the team flip it? I mean, Graz and I were talking about this morning, can they do like an Ayuk situation where he's cleared medically, so now the onus goes back on the player to go? I don't know how all that works. I will just say this. There is a ton of pressure for the Bengals because of what, Joe Burrow's already missed part of 2 seasons. It's a time to strike while the iron's hot. They have a schedule that's favorable. They have a team that's favorable. You better go all in my opinion, if you're the Bengals.
Problem is, you don't want to move your line, right? Like you made the exception for the quarterback, right? So now anytime anybody comes asking for stuff, well, that was different. That he's the quarterback. Now, if you do it for Jamar Chase, then the next person's going to want it too, and you've created a mess. So they are in a very tough spot.
The only thing I continue to say is the price tag for great players is not going down. Well, it's only going up.
That's why I don't understand why he wouldn't want to wait a year, because it is only going to go up. But it does seem like
he's making like $1 million this year.
I think he's making $7 million, and the other guys are making
but he's on a rookie contract, so it's the signing bonus that he got a couple years ago.
Okay. We're going to call the Saturday Summary.
Good name.
Take you through some of the big stories that happened this summer and get your reaction to them. Russell Wilson this week was named the Steelers captain.
Yes, he was.
What are your feelings on how sturdy his position is?
Well, first,
there?
I would like to flash back to some receipts. So, Cindy, if you'll play my receipts from, I think it was in January, it may have even been December last year, when I talked about Russell Wilson. Let's go ahead and play it just so you can hear my thoughts on Russell Wilson going to the Steelers. Russell Wilson for Arthur Smith would be the best fit. And because he wants to play under center, he wants play action, he's a veteran quarterback. So if you're going to talk about what Russell Wilson can do extremely well, and you have a vet guy in there who's won a bunch of games. I know people hate him.
Yep.
Dude wins a bunch of freaking games. I mean, if I had the name on the back, I would just point to it.
Here's what I will say.
Yeah.
You just exercised a quarterback's level of vanity. Like to actually have someone pull a clip of a prediction you made that was correct.
Yes.
Peyton Manning would be making fun of you right now.
He can make fun all he wants because I was right. And listen, now not only was I right, it's been proven by the players on the team voting for him to be the captain of their team. And my question is, well, how, is he on thin ice? How quick will they go? No, bro, you could park an ice fishing house on his ice right now. He's ready to rock. People are behind him. They're ready to go. Bryce, you can shake your head. They are buying what he said. And listen, I think it's a good fit.
How many teams is the quarterback not one of the captains? I mean, come on.
We don't got to say that. I mean, we got to say that. They are always
automatic.
But listen, he's still the captain.
Yeah.
So captain, my captain. Let's go, Grimes.
They open with 2 road games. We'll see what happens before they get home for their home opener. 2 more.
Okay.
Chicago, Caleb Williams named a captain. Maybe that makes Graz's point.
Shocking. He played that
in Chicago. Can he? This kid has been unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So he should be a captain. Graz doesn't want him to be captain because he's young. But here's the thing. It's improbable that he will because of the division they're in, the Packers and the Lions. However, I think the trajectory he's putting the Bears on, they already play good defense. They got weapons surrounding him. I like where he is set up. Now, are the other 2 teams in the league very tough? I do, but I think it's improbable, possible because of what Caleb Williams has looked like so far.
And one more quick game up against the clock here. Can a healthy Aaron Rodgers lead the New York Jets all the way to the Super Bowl?
Ooh, I don't think so, Greeny. Listen, this is the thing. It's not about the Jets. It's about the Chiefs. And you said it earlier in one of the segments. When you're talking about whoever's playing against Patrick Mahomes in this era or this time frame, it's just an uphill battle. Not only is Mahomes legit, their defense is legit, their coach is legit, all phases. Can he make the Jets a significantly better team? Can they push the play? All of that, yes. I don't think he can take them to the Super Bowl because of what they're facing in Patrick Mahomes.
The only thing I'll say about look, no one can disagree with what you're saying. Mahomes is the best, and he may wind up being the best I've ever seen. Aaron feels like the one guy who will walk onto that field not feeling like he's the second best quarterback in the game, right? Like he.
Well, I mean, he could, but that doesn't change the facts. And
But I think part of this is psychological too. Like I think part of getting over that hump is psychologically believing not that you can, but that you will.